The following are some situations that require special attention from all drivers. Which one is an even bigger problem for the driver of a vehicle with low ground clearance? Humps or dips on the road. The standee line is a 2-inch line on the floor to the rear of the driver's seat, behind which all riders must stay while the bus is moving. If a rider wants to bring a car battery or a can of gasoline aboard your bus, you should not allow them to do so. Off-tracking of the rear wheels is caused by greater distance between the front and rear wheels, sharper turns and curves, faster driving speeds. Buses may have recapped or regrooved tires anywhere except on the front wheels. You have passed all the requirements for a Class B bus driver's license. Which of these vehicles are you not licensed to drive? Class A bus. Which of the following answers lists the 3 types of emergency equipment you must have on your bus? Fire extinguisher, spare electrical fuses, and emergency reflectors. How are buses supposed to handle most railroad crossings? Come to a complete stop before crossing. You must not permit passengers to stand in front of the standee line. When driving a bus across railroad tracks, you should never change gears on a bus with a manual transmission. Which of these forms of signaling is not recommended? Signaling to others that it is safe to pass. Which of these statements about gear ranges in buses with automatic transmissions is true? The lowest ranges should be used for greater engine braking on downgrades. It is best to wear your seat belt at all times for safety. A bus may carry baggage or freight only if it is secured and out of the way of any exits. Federal regulations do not allow a driver to drive if ill or impaired, and a condition interferes with their ability to drive. Which of the following must be closed while the bus is in motion? Emergency windows. As the driver of a bus, how can you best avoid hindering other traffic on the highway? By staying in the right lane. Which of the following types of cargo can never be carried on a bus? Tear gas or irritating materials. In general, the best braking technique to use in maintaining a safe speed when driving on a downgrade is use the snub braking method, 5 miles per hour below safe speed. When you inspect your bus, you must make sure that rider signaling devices are working properly. At the end of each shift, you should take all of your personal belongings, inspect the bus, and report any defects. The following is not allowed on a bus: talking with riders while driving nor towing a disabled vehicle. You may sometimes haul small arms ammunition, emergency shipments of drugs, or hospital supplies on a bus. The total weight of all such hazardous materials must not be greater than ______ pounds. 500. An oncoming vehicle keeps its high beams on. You should deal with this hazard by looking to the right side of your lane. You must have a CDL if you are going to drive a vehicle that carries over 15 people, including the driver. When carried on a bus, hazardous materials must be labeled. If your bus becomes disabled on a freeway or expressway and you must stop on the left side of the road, it is best to stop so that the bus is at an angle to traffic with the front door facing the downstream side of traffic. You need to evacuate your bus in an emergency. Passengers should be directed to a safe place no less than _____ feet from the bus. 100. When you are not sure who has the right of way, the safest course of action is to let the other driver have the right of way. Buses may carry small arms ammunition labeled ORMD. Charter bus drivers should explain the rules and not allow riders on the bus until departure time. The proper time to cancel your turn signal for a lane change or turn is when the lane change is complete. A passenger that becomes violent or disruptive should not be let off the bus where it would be unsafe for him or her. Which of these is the best general rule for night driving? Increase your normal daytime following distance by 1 second. If your bus leans toward the outside on a banked curve, you are driving too fast. When you arrive at the bus stop, you should announce location, reason for stopping, next departure time, and the bus number. Which of the following about speed is true? You should be able to stop within the distance you can see ahead. A straight vehicle weighing 20,000 pounds GVWR, which hauls 20 passengers, falls into which CDL class? C. To put a loaded bus into motion from a stopped position on a steep upgrade, 4% or more, with a manual transmission, which technique is best? Slowly release the clutch while releasing the parking brake. When applying for a bus driving job, you must report all motor vehicle accidents you have been involved in during the past ____ years. 3. If your bus has an emergency exit door, it must be secured when the bus is in motion. The driver's seat should be adjusted only when the bus is at a complete stop. The interlock system for the brake and accelerator on a transit coach may be used to assist in downshifting. When driving at more than 40 miles per hour, what is the safe minimum following distance under ideal daytime conditions? 4 seconds plus 1 additional second. All of the following should be in good working order before driving. Which item must be functional before the bus can depart? Service brakes. If you increase your speed from 20 to 60 miles per hour, tripling the original speed, how much more braking distance is required at 60 miles per hour than at 20 miles per hour? 9 times, 3 by 3 or 9. When checking the outside of the bus, you should close any open emergency exits or access panels. True. Most hazardous materials cannot be carried on a bus, but some hazardous materials are allowed. True. What are some hazardous materials that can be transported by bus? Small arms ammunition, hospital supplies, and hospital drugs. In buses designed to allow standing, you can stand anywhere you want. False. Does it matter where you make a disruptive passenger disembark from the bus? Yes. Urban mass transit coaches may have a brake and accelerator interlock system. The rear door of a transit bus must be open to engage the parking brake. False. If you work as an interstate carrier, you must complete a written inspection report for each bus driver. True. Who is responsible for inspecting emergency equipment before driving? The driver. What is the shape of hazardous material labels? Diamond-shaped. Which poor weather condition can cause the most dangerous driving? Ice. If you have to swerve quickly to avoid an accident, it is important to know where other vehicles are around your bus. You do not have to stop at drawbridges that do not have a signal light or traffic control attendant. False. If you have riders aboard, you should never fuel your bus inside a closed building. When driving at night and you must dim your headlights from high to low beam, how should you adjust your speed? Slow down. If you work in a different state area, you must complete the post-trip inspection report that specifies any problems that would affect safety or result in a breakdown. Which of these most affects the amount of traction your bus has? The type and condition of the road surface. A bus will have the most traction when braking if the wheels are rolling, just short of locking. Carry-on baggage must never be left in a doorway or in an aisle. You should remind riders to take their belongings with them when they disembark from the bus. It is best to tell them before coming to a complete stop. Many buses have curved, convex or spot mirrors. These mirrors Make objects appear smaller and further away than they really are. How many folding aisle seats are allowed in a bus that is not carrying farm workers? 0. Which of these statements about hazards is true? Movement inside a parked car could mean that a person is about to step out of it. You must sign the inspection report made by the previous driver only when defects reported have been certified as repaired or not needing repair. Which of these actions will result in the best control on curves? Slow to a safe speed before entering curves, then accelerate slightly through them. When should you check your mirrors for a lane change? Regularly as part of your check for potential hazards. You are driving a 30-foot bus on a highway. The road is dry and visibility is good. The distance between you and the vehicle ahead should not be less than ____ seconds. 4. To stop for railroad tracks, you should stop ____ feet before the nearest track. 15 to 50. Which of these statements about speed management and braking is true? You need about 4 times as much stopping distance at 40 miles per hour than as at 20 mph. When you discharge an unruly passenger, you should choose a place that is as safe as possible. Buses may carry a total of 500 pounds of allowed hazardous materials, but no more than ____ pounds of any one class. 100 pounds. Which of these statements about seeing ahead is true? Good drivers should keep their attention alternating between near and far. The maximum distance you should stop from a railroad crossing is 50 feet. It is most dangerous to back up to the right. When driving on a slippery road during the day, how much space should you maintain ahead of you? Allow much more space than needed under ideal driving conditions. Which of these statements about managing space to the sides of your bus is true? You should avoid traveling next to others when possible. Your bus is disabled. The bus, with riders aboard, may be towed or pushed to a safe spot to discharge passengers only if getting off the bus sooner would be unsafe. Which of these statements about seeing ahead is true? Many drivers do not look far enough ahead. Normally, how many seats that are not securely fastened to the bus are allowed? 0. Shifting gears in a bus is not permitted when crossing railroad tracks. Hazardous conditions are identified as any condition that may make your trip unsafe. The bus driver should never change the location of a bus stop without approval from the appropriate district official. Buses are greatly affected by winds. When coming out of tunnels, the inspection of vehicles by the driver is mandated by federal and state laws. If a vehicle moves suddenly into your lane, you should slow down and pull to the right as far as you safely can, sound your horn, and flash your lights. Flat mirrors are mounted at the left and right front corners of the bus, at the side or front of the windshield. The OIRM is the inside rearview mirror used to monitor passenger activity inside the bus. There is a blind spot directly behind the driver's seat. True.